Tonight on the Mike Tomlin Show, playoff implications are on the line for what Coach Tomlin is calling a five-star matchup. Bob Pompiani and Coach break down the Buffalo Bills. Plus, for the first time in 92 years, three brothers will be playing in the game at the same time. I have a chance to sit down with Tyrell and Trey Edmonds to talk about the special night for the Edmonds family. All of that and much more as the Mike Tomlin Show starts right now.
Here we go. This pass is caught, and that's a touchdown. That's the way to work. Come on. He's hit that sack. The Steelers win the football game. Let's go. Come get it. You know what it is.
This one is in the history books.
Here we go.
The Mike Tomlin Show is presented by 84 Lumber.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Mike Tomlin Show presented by 84 Lumber. We're here with the head coach and satisfying win on the road, even though it seemed like a home game once again for you guys. You must really love that situation.
It's always a beautiful thing. I've come to expect it, but I still appreciate it. The type of support that we get, and particularly when we're furthest away from Pittsburgh, the LA trip and the Phoenix trip this year stand out in that way. The type of support that we get from Steeler Nation, we're away from home, is second to none. And this is the third organization I've been a part of, and so I've witnessed some things firsthand.
Well, this game was a big game for the Steelers. They jumped out to a lead, something you guys have not done on a regular basis. That first drive, that really kind of set the tone, and it was nice to see because it hadn't happened all that often.
All that often. You're being kind. I don't know that we'd scored a point on the first possession all year other than, I think we had a turnover at San Francisco, and we started on the short field. Other than that, I don't know that we scored a point all year. So to be able to kick a field goal on that opening possession really kind of set a tone, I think, just in the minds of our guys in terms of it didn't have to be an uphill battle all day. And so it's good. We're starting to check some boxes. We're starting to do some things that we hadn't done and improving some areas that have been consistent areas of weakness for us. And we still got some things to address. Obviously, we're still awful in the red zone, and hopefully we start winning more of these red zone possessions and attack that area as well.
You saw something that you hadn't seen in 4 years also, was a punt return, a splash play for a touchdown by Diontae Johnson. I know he's the kind of guy who can make that happen. What was the key to that working? He suggested, well, the guy out-kicks his coverage. We knew that and gave him some running room.
Well, it's always a potential risk with reward in all elements of ball, and Andy Lee has been a dynamic punter for a long time, and but guys like that, particularly in open grass situations, are capable of putting the ball down the field and allowing you to have ball in the hand plus grass, is what we call it, before you have to confront a would-be tackler. And a guy like Diontae, when he gets ball in the hand plus grass, he's got a chance to go. We work with that mentality all week leading up to the game, so it was really rewarding to see him deliver. It wasn't anything mystical about it. We worked it, the opportunity presented itself, and those guys delivered, and so hopefully we're able to grow from that experience.
Coach, you mentioned the red zone. There have been difficulties, but there was a wonderful pass that Devlin Hodges made to Diontae Johnson to complete. Really was a great night for him. Talk about that pass, because it seemed like a very small window to get it into. Man,
that's purely a time and play. We saw during the team development process that he had an aptitude for it, even as far back as Latrobe, but in stadium circumstances are a little bit different. Couple that with the fact that the snap was low and he had to bend down and get the ball and recalibrate his eyes and do the things that he needed to do to make the play. It was a special play.
Your run game has delivered numbers. You didn't have James Conner again, but overall, I think it was 140 yards rushing. That includes some from Hodges as well. But if you get those kinds of numbers, are those the things you're looking for, regardless of who gets it, because you're doing it by committee?
It is critical, and it's critical in a couple of areas. It keeps us in manageable possession downs. And manageable possession downs is a key for any inexperienced quarterback. So it is paramount that we stay in manageable third downs for Duck to give him an opportunity not only to execute, but to minimize the potential of things that he could see from defenses. The longer the down and distances on possession downs, people get wacky. They can be outside the box thinkers. They can throw a variety of things at you. The shorter the down and distances are, the more conventional they get. So that's been a critical element of it, but also just in terms of the time of possession, we got a defense that's playing really well right now. If we can assist them in that play, by allowing them to spend quality time on the bench area. It helps us all collectively.
Yeah, your defense, once again, I mean, when you're not scoring a lot in the red zone, you need defense to come up. They seem to make Kyler Murray really have problems. He was running a lot, and this defense seems to get better and better. Is it one of the best you've had?
I think, those stories are written and told in December and in January, and particularly January, because I haven't been a part of a great defense that doesn't participate in January football and doesn't show up in those ways in January football. So we're doing the things to put ourselves in that conversation. Obviously, we got a big challenge this week in Buffalo. They'll be continually writing the answer to that question over the next couple of weeks and beyond, hopefully.
It's a matchup of two very good defenses. Buffalo comes to Pittsburgh, a game that's been flexed to 8:20. We'll talk about the Bills, where they are, which is right ahead of the Steelers in the standings right now, when we return. Right now, let's send it over to Missi Matthews.
Thanks, Bob. And speaking of defenses, the Steelers' D is first in the NFL in sacks, quarterback hits, and takeaways. The last team to do that since the 1970 merger? The 1974 Steelers. That's some pretty good company. Up next, we head back out west to see the best sights and sounds from the team's win over the Arizona Cardinals. The Mike Tomlin Show will be right back. It happened in LA and it happened once again in Arizona. Steelers Nation making a road game feel like a home game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Check out the best sights and sounds from the Steelers' win over the Cardinals.
A player's path to the NFL is never the same as another's. Some hear their name called on draft weekend, others don't. Overlooked for one reason or another, a feeling the Steelers have become familiar with this season. But how you get here isn't significant. What's most important is what you can do in front of thousands of fans on a Sunday afternoon.
Throws it to the left, and there's a good gainer to Jalen Samuels up the sideline.
Gareth White, when he finds the crease, he explodes.
Here's Benny Snell again. Is about a half-yard shy of a first down.
The give, and that is Snell diving for the first down. Needed 2, got 3. The ball is down. The kick is on its way. That kick by the Boz is good, and the Steelers draw first blood.
Coach Mike Tomlin never cares where good ideas come from. He may have the same mentality when it comes to scoring points.
Here's Johnson on the punt return. Diontae Johnson with blockers in front. Johnson into Arizona territory. Johnson down the sideline. He will go! 85 yards for Diontae Johnson.
Every time he catches the ball, you hold your breath, and now he finally took it to the house.
How about Bud Dupree flying in there again?
Bud Dupree clubbed the heck out of DJ Humphries, and then he just sacked.
He fakes it. He's trapped. He's down for a loss by Minkah Fitzpatrick. A loss of 1. He steps forward. He dances. He runs around. He's sacked back at the 14-yard line by Vince Williams.
So Vince was playing the spy. He sat back and was waiting for him. He just attacked.
The pass is complete, and up over the 30-35 to James Washington. Flushed out of the pocket. He's going to run, and he is whacking his way to the 50, to the 45, and steps out of bounds at the Arizona 47-yard line.
Did you say he's quacking his way to the sideline?
I did say that.
That was pretty funny.
The duck is back, throws the out pattern, and it's pulled in by Diontae Johnson. And that's a first down inside the 30. The kick is on its way, and Boz is money in the bank. Puts the Steelers on top on the last play of the second quarter.
Murray intercepted. Joe Hayden with his third INT of the year, and what a play it was.
His third pick of the year, and the Steelers protect that 3-point lead. And a bubble screen right. And the Cardinals are all over. Diontae Johnson, he turns the left end. 15, 10, 5. out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Wow. He was dead to rights and got away. Duck throws to the end zone, touchdown. What a play. Duck hitting Diontae Johnson from 3 yards out perfectly. 4th and 3 at the 7. He's coming to the near sideline. Throws it on the run. Intercepted. That is T.J. Watt with the end zone pick.
He threw it right to T.J. Watt. I mean, what a play by T.J.
Comes to the sideline, throws the ball. It's caught inside the 10-yard line by Diontae Johnson. What a play by Duck, and what a catch by the rookie from Toledo. Boz with a kick. It's up and splits the uprights, and the Steelers extend their lead. He wants to throw it. He does under great duress, and the pass is going to be intercepted by Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden with his second pick of the game, and that ends any Arizona hope. You knew you had to work hard. You knew Arizona was better than their record indicated. As you said, the defense working hand in glove. And if they can control the line of scrimmage like they did here, they can be a force to be reckoned with.
To say the parents of Trey, Terrell, and Tremaine Edmunds will be proud on Sunday night at Heinz Field is an extreme understatement. For the first time in 92 years, 3 brothers will be playing in the same game when the Steelers host the Bills. 2 of those brothers are Steelers, and I had a chance to sit down with Terrell and Trey to talk about facing their brother in this highly anticipated matchup. All right, they always say football is family. I guess it's fair to say that's very true this week. Are you guys excited? You've been anticipating it since the schedule came out. What are the emotions heading into this game?
I'm excited. Being able to live out our dreams, something that we always talked about when we were younger. It's really a blessing just going out there playing with both of your brothers on the field. It's different watching them now. I get to watch them in person, and hopefully we get the win. That's our plan, to go out there and win. I want them to do well, but at the same time, I want to get the win too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm super excited too. I think it's a huge moment for both our family and both of our teams. So like Coach Tomlin said, it's a 5-star matchup. It's 2 good teams, fighting to get playoff berths. So, and we're gonna have a lot of support there, a lot of family, a lot of friends. It's gonna be amazing. We're excited for it.
Did you guys have to secure all the tickets?
No, our parents took care of all of it. They took the load off our shoulders. So.
Nice.
They wanted us to be focused.
Yeah, 100% focused.
So do you even know the number, like the total number of family and friends who will be there on Sunday night?
I don't know the total number.
Yeah.
We have like a ideal, I think, at least 30 plus.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's at least 30 plus is coming, but we don't know the exact number. They didn't tell us the exact number, so.
Yeah. I think it's more than 30.
I think it's more than 30 too.
A lot. Yeah.
And it will also be a special reunion tomorrow night for Coach Tomlin. His teammate from William & Mary, Sean McDermott, is the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Coach Tomlin and Bob Pompiani are standing by to break down McDermott's Bills. All of that and much more when we return here on The Mike Tomlin Show.
The Mike Tomlin Show is presented by 84 Lumber. Are you 84 material? Visit 84lumber.com/careers to learn more.
Tomorrow night will mark the Steelers' 6th primetime game of 2019, but for Bills quarterback Josh Allen, it will actually be his first start in primetime. The Steelers are 9-6 under head coach Mike Tomlin on Sunday nights at Heinz Field, so let's head back to him and Bob Pompiani for more on the Buffalo Bills.
Thanks very much, Missy. We're talking about the Buffalo Bills. They come to Pittsburgh now, and it's going to be a huge game, national TV game, and Buffalo has done a lot of good things defensively. Now, this is going to be a very interesting test for your young offense with these new players, guys who've come in. What do you tell them about dealing with this Buffalo defense?
It's with all due respect to Buffalo, and they've got a dynamic defense. I think they're the number 3 defense in the league and been really consistent all year and dominant in the moments that defenses need to be dominant. But we're still very much in the self-analysis mode, and it's about what we do and the quality in which we do it. We got to possess the ball. Our ball security has got to be better than it was at times in Arizona. We were thankful to get out of Arizona with a win, but we turned the ball over. We fumbled the ball in the running game. We had a sack fumble that was recovered by us. And those are the type of things that you got to ward against when you're playing good people. Obviously, we got to work to stay on schedule. We can't be highly penalized. So I'm going to put the things back on us, the things that we need to do well to neutralize a good defense, and not on them and what they're capable of. Josh Allen's having a very good year. You're number 2. What's the most significant difference that you see him now versus last year? You know, I think that just his prudent use of his running abilities. His mobility is a weapon for them. Their prudent use of it and his prudent use of it. They got some situational design quarterback runs that really keep you off balance and really make you think twice about some of the things that you call in the red zone and on third down. So they do a good job of managing his athletic ability and infusing it into the game schematically. And then he does a nice job in an ad-lib basis as plays break down in an effort to extend plays without negativity and keeping them going that way. His mobility, I think, his awareness of it and use of it, and their awareness of it and use of it makes them a formidable bunch. I think this guy's over 600 yards rushing, and that's significant. I think he's got 8 touchdowns on the ground. Those are real things to deal with when you talk about the quarterback position. And he has a guy who's emerged almost like a Julian Edelman type for them in Cole Beasley. And he's not the fastest guy, he's not the tallest guy, but he seems to know how to get open. And when he does, he doesn't let the ball hit the ground. Yeah, Cole is not a new commodity in this league, man. He's been a quality slot receiver for some time now. I think he's 30 years old, 8 years in. It's funny how time flies. He's in his second city. They're utilizing him increasingly so, particularly in recent weeks. They've evolved into a 40 snap a game, 3 wide receiver personnel group in recent weeks, and it's because of that traction they're gaining and finding ways to utilize him, and particularly on possession downs. Frank Gore still going, and you look at the numbers, 15,000 yards. There seems to be, I love longevity, and I think the debate, some people think, well, he's been all over, so therefore, is he a Hall of Fame caliber guy? I always say yes to longevity. What do you say about what he's been able to do? It's an easy yes. I've been in this league the whole time that Frank Gore's been in this league. He's always been somebody that you had a great deal of respect for, not only as a runner, but he doesn't get enough credit for the things that he does when the ball is not in his hands. He is one of the most devastating blitz pickup runners in the game today, and has been for the entire time he's been in the game. You're talking about a guy that takes pride in those physical confrontations of protecting his passer. He brings a lot of those intangibles, and I think those are some of the reasons why I say without question he's a Hall of Famer. I don't even think it's debatable. This is going to be sort of like an Edmonds family reunion too, right? You got a guy on the other side, and you got to talk to those two that you have to get some more insight on him, I would imagine. But that's kind of cool to see 3 guys, all brothers, in the same game. It's a really unique thing. I'm sure it's going to be a special weekend for his family, his father, Farrell, who I've known a long time. It's really awesome. And not only their abilities, but just the way the 3 young men conduct themselves on and off the field, the quality young people that they are. It's just really an awesome thing. Real quick, keys to this game for you and your team. For us, it's about the 2 defenses and who can show up and who can be themselves and make the dominant splash plays that both defenses are capable of. But it goes beyond the play of the defenses. It's about how the 2 offenses complement those defenses. And so, they probably got a leg up on us in complementing their defense because of the mobility of Josh Allen is really challenging. But I like our group. I like the formula that we've been able to put together in recent weeks, and we just got to find the right buttons in this matchup and not allow their defense to make too many plays and make a few plays of our own. All right, when we come back, Coach is a football junkie. We're going to put him to the test when it comes to the college football playoff. That's always interesting. He has good takes on that. So, Missy, look forward to that when we come back. Back to you.
Thanks, Bob. Looking forward to that. And by the way, congratulations are in order for rookie Diontae Johnson. He was named the AFC Special Teams Player of the Week for his performance in Arizona. Johnson had an 85-yard punt return for a touchdown, the longest in team history, and the first by a rookie since Santonio Holmes. The rookie from Toledo also caught a 2-yard touchdown pass from Devlin Hodges later in the game. We're going to take a quick break here on the Mike Tomlin Show. We'll be right back. Tis the season for the college football playoffs. Bob Pompiani and Coach Tomlin are standing by with more on that. Bob?
All right, back with the football junkie, as I called him, Mike Tomlin. You like football at all levels, and
no question.
So now we have this college football playoff. I don't think there's any doubt the best 4 teams are in it. But do you think LSU deserves number 1 over Ohio State?
I do. I just, I'm a big fan of the SEC. I refer to it as the speed eliminates competition league. Just week in and week out, top to bottom, in the SEC. If you can run that gauntlet and including the championship and be undefeated, I think year in and year out you can put the SEC champion, if they're undefeated, in that one spot and book it. And no disrespect to the other leagues or Ohio State or what they've done, I just think recent years has kind of really solidified that in my mind, that if you run that gauntlet that is the SEC and you're undefeated, you're probably the number 1 team in the country heading into the Final 4-man tournament.
Good analysis. Real quick, 30 seconds left. Do you seem to be having more fun doing this coaching this year with this group, given all the new guys you have? Is that fair to say?
I'm always having fun when we're winning. You probably wouldn't have asked me that in September.
Probably.
Yeah.
But still, it's a challenge, right? You're into it.
No, I love the challenges that the game presents, but I don't kid myself. I like to win, and winning is fun. And so, in recent weeks, we've been able to find traction in that area, and that's fun. That's fun for me. That's fun for them. The key for us is to do things necessary to make sure that it continues.
Well, they're winning a lot. 7-1 in their last 8 games, second best streak only to the Baltimore Ravens, and try to continue tomorrow night against the Buffalo Bills. Coach, thanks very much for your time.
Thank
Always
you.
Appreciate it. That's going to do it for the Mike Tomlin Show. So thank you once again, and thanks to Missi Matthews. For Missi and Coach Tomlin, I'm Bob Pompiani. We'll see you tomorrow on our pregame show, and then afterwards, we got a lot to talk about on KDKA. Have a great night. We'll see you next Saturday night for another edition of the Mike Tomlin Show, presented by 84 Lumber.